After waking up from a 4-year coma, a guy and his childhood buddy set out to find his high school girlfriend, a men's magazine model. In South Carolina, Eugene plays Floor is Lava with his friend Tucker at home. Afterward, they sneak into his older brother's room to hunt for a basketball card. They discover an orange box in the closet containing the cards and a men's magazine. Intrigued, Tucker delves into the material and becomes fixated on it. Fast forward 3 weeks, and the boys are at the playground. Eugene occupies himself with a handheld game console while Tucker shifts to observing and fantasizing about the girls. 10 years later, the duo is in high school. Eugene is in a relationship with Cindy, while Tucker, still single, compares women to models featured in magazines. As high school seniors committed to abstinence, Eugene and Cindy are invited to Jefferson County Middle School to educate students about the importance of waiting until marriage before engaging in intimacy. During their speech, they recounted a story about Eugene's older brother, Craig, who contracted syphilis after engaging with his chain-smoker girlfriend. This event ultimately resulted in her becoming pregnant and giving birth to a child who was mentally challenged. Consequently, the couple ended their relationship, and Craig had to leave school to take on 2 jobs to meet child support obligations. However, one afternoon, tragedy struck when Craig's mom, babysitting her grandson, experienced a fatal incident as the baby accidentally set the house on fire, leading to the demise of both the woman and the baby. The tragic incident took a toll on Craig's mental health, leading to his confinement in a padded cell. In this distressing state, he engages in disturbing behavior, including consuming his waste while reflecting on the repercussions of his past intimacy with his girlfriend. As part of the presentation, the speakers display graphic images of diseases, inducing fear and distress among the elementary school children. That night, Eugene climbs a tree outside his girlfriend's window and communicates with her using his cell phone. When he suggests going to a party after prom, she steers the conversation towards spending a special night together, pointing out that they've been dating for 2.5 years. Despite Eugene's initial hesitation and a reminder of their seminar presentation, his girlfriend insists she's ready for it, emphasizing their special connection. Hearing this, the teen agrees to take their relationship to the next level after prom night. Tucker comforts his nervous friend before prom the following day, citing his extensive romantic experience with numerous women. A limo arrives to pick up Eugene, where he encounters Phil, Tucker's old friend who left school, accompanied by 2 women. Upon reaching Cindy's house, the teen exits the car and greets his girlfriend and her parents. After prom, the couple proceeds to a party. As Cindy gets the keys to the bedroom, Tucker observes Eugene, who is still nervous about taking things further with his girlfriend. To calm his friend's anxiety, the promiscuous teen provides him with a few shots of whiskey. However, as an intoxicated Eugene is about to ascend the stairs to join Cindy in the bedroom, he mistakenly opens the door to the basement and tumbles down the stairs. In the process, he collides with a shelf, leading a toolbox to fall on his head and the entire shelf collapsing onto him. This unfortunate event puts him in a coma for 4 years. One day, Tucker uses a baseball bat to jolt his friend awake. Despite Eugene regaining consciousness, he finds himself unable to move due to an extreme state of atrophy. The doctor advises him to avoid strenuous situations to facilitate his recovery. Later, as Eugene catches up with his friend, he discovers that his dad moved to Florida and his girlfriend Cindy relocated after graduation, which saddens him. Shortly after, Tucker goes to a supermarket where he works as a photographer. While capturing a family portrait, he approaches the mother, guiding her to pose. This behavior makes the woman's husband uneasy, prompting the manager to reprimand his employee for making advances on a client. Later, Tucker receives his men's magazine for the month. As the photographer flips through the pages, he is shocked to discover that Cindy is featured on one of them. He immediately rushes back to the hospital to inform Eugene, who is shocked by his girlfriend's transformation. Despite the startling revelation, the photographer is eager to attend the magazine's anniversary bash, scheduled to be held in a mansion in Los Angeles. Expecting the presence of models, he invites his friend to tag along, hopeful of reconnecting him with Cindy. That night, Tucker meets his girlfriend Candace in a luxurious restaurant to celebrate their anniversary. She gives him a smoking pipe, and he genuinely loves the gift. Hours later, Tucker breaks into the hospital to take Eugene. During their escape, he runs into his girlfriend in the hallway, who suddenly has wounds on her face and swears that he will pay for the harm he caused her. After putting his friend in the front passenger seat, Tucker drives away. While behind the wheel, he starts groaning in pain. Concerned, Eugene asks what's wrong, and the driver explains that he had a problem with Candace earlier. During their anniversary celebration at the restaurant, they became heavily intoxicated and left without paying the bill. Upon reaching home, Tucker surprised Candace with a pole in the living room. Initially disturbed, she eventually enjoyed it. However, during a moment of intimacy, Tucker turned on strong strobe lights, triggering an epileptic seizure in the woman and causing her to bite him. In panic, he grabbed a fork and stabbed her face to get her off him. Due to the incident, a vengeful Candace seeks the assistance of her sibling, Rick, a fireman. He leads his fellow firefighters to pursue the duo on the road, attacking them with axes and a fire hose. Soon, Rick jumps onto the car's hood. Startled, Tucker hits the brakes, sending the firemen tumbling off the road. Noticing their vehicle behind the fire trucks, he changes direction, successfully evading his pursuers. On the road, Eugene asks how they will get to the mansion in Los Angeles, but instead of answering, Tucker turns on the radio. He starts singing along to the music, revealing that his old friend Phil has become a famous rapper. Eugene suggests contacting the rapper to help them enter the mansion. Meanwhile, the police begin printing wanted posters of Tucker. When the duo stops at a gas station, Eugene requests his friend to go to the store and purchase him some decent clothes. However, despite being aware that he's not fully recovered, he attempts to get out of the car and pump gas, only to make a mess. Inside the store, Tucker gets distracted and sees the smoking pipe Candace had gifted him on a magazine cover. Overwhelmed with emotion, he reaches out to his girlfriend through a payphone, only to hear her threatening voicemail. Upon returning to the car, Tucker finds his friend wet and nearly unclothed. Later, as the photographer hits the road, Eugene expresses gratitude for everything before drifting off to sleep. In his dream, he sees Cindy in the driver's seat wearing provocative clothing, blaming him for getting intoxicated instead of being romantic with her during the night of the after-prom party. She asserts that it's his fault for her choice of career. Upon waking, Eugene is shocked to discover Tucker dozing off in the driver's seat. Because of this, he insists on booking a motel room for them to rest. Unfortunately, the photographer accidentally sets the place on fire while demonstrating to his friend how to use a smoking pipe to impress women at the mansion. Shortly after, the firefighters, led by Rick, arrive and recognize Tucker, prompting them to give chase. In a panic, the duo quickly gets inside the car to escape. The following day, on the road, Tucker realizes he only has $7 left, disappointing Eugene. However, he had to spend it on the toll fee. Meanwhile, a vengeful Candace visits the burnt motel and discovers her boyfriend's smoking pipe on the ground. Suddenly, she gets informed that Tucker and his friend have been spotted in Chicago. There, the duo finds themselves on the set of Phil, who's shooting a music video for his new song. After the filming, Tucker asks him to help them get inside the mansion. The rapper agrees and invites them to join him on his party bus heading to the location. While on the road, Eugene opens up to Phil, pondering how his girlfriend, Cindy, changed while he was in a coma. Meanwhile, Tucker is supposed to spend the night with one of his friend's entertainers, Crystal, but she gets thrown out of the bus's open window when the vehicle passes over a hump. Further in their conversation, Phil shares that he has already been intimate with the models featured in the men's magazine, including Cindy, the cover girl for March. This revelation infuriates Eugene, and he hits the rapper. Following this, he accidentally defecates, leading the party bus owner to throw both him and Tucker out of the vehicle. In the middle of nowhere, the heartbroken man sobs after realizing his girlfriend has spent romantic nights with another man. His friend tries to comfort him, emphasizing that the woman only slept with another guy and didn't have a relationship with them. Soon, a couple named Katya and Vanka stop to make a deal with them. They propose letting Tucker drive to Los Angeles so they can have a good time in the back seat. The duo accepts, but the man behind the wheel gets distracted while watching them in the rearview mirror, causing him to hit a post every 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Candace continues to search for her boyfriend and receives a call informing her that he has been spotted heading to Los Angeles. The duo arrives at the mansion that night but is 20 minutes late to the party. However, they notice that people not on the guest list cannot enter. They try pretending to be with Katya and Vanka, but it doesn't work, and only the women get in. Soon, the fire trucks arrive, prompting the duo to hide. Seeing the firefighters quickly get inside, Tucker thinks of stealing their uniforms. Once the duo gets in, the promiscuous man removes the fireman's clothing, pointing out that women won't notice him if he keeps being in disguise. On the other hand, Eugene refuses to follow his lead, but advises him to look for Cindy carefully. Tucker then tries to meet the models, hoping to sleep with one of them. However, the women just ignore him. Soon, he runs into Sarah Jean Underwood, the Playmate of the year 2007. He greets her and later offers to take her adopted dog, Puddles, out to the lawn. While carrying the pet, he starts drawing the attention of one woman, who drinks from her glass, unaware that the dog has urinated on it. Meanwhile, Eugene finally removes his fireman uniform. Suddenly, he spots Phil downstairs, prompting him to hide. Later, he bumps into a bouncer and tries to ask where Cindy is, but he only grabs him and accuses him of stalking. Suddenly, he gazes on the side and finally sees his girlfriend with an older man. He tries calling her while being taken away, successfully getting her attention. Outside, Tucker is surprised upon realizing that Candace has tracked him down. She calls the attention of the firemen to chase after her boyfriend. In a state of panic, the man rushes into the mansion to find a place to hide. Eventually, he discovers himself in a room with the magazine's editor-in-chief, Hugh Hefner. Overwhelmed with admiration, he greets the old man, expressing that he is his most devoted fan. Hugh guides him toward the party outside, but as he reaches the door, he trembles, catching the editor's attention. In response, Hugh invites the man to sit down, willing to discuss his concerns. Meanwhile, Eugene is brought to a room for questioning. Soon, Cindy arrives and hugs him, shocked that he has woken up. However, he confronts her for leaving him in the hospital bed while he is in a coma to pursue a modeling career. Simultaneously, Tucker confides in Hugh about his relationship with Candace. He elaborates that his girlfriend is fantastic, but can't settle down yet because he hasn't reached his desired body count. In response, the editor offers advice, emphasizing that the quality of relationships matters more than quantity. Perplexed, Tucker inquires why Hugh is dating 7 women simultaneously. In response, the old man shows him a photo of Gertrude Van Brouwer, his childhood sweetheart who passed away at 18. He emphasizes the significance of holding on to that special someone, stating that even though he is involved with many women now, he would trade it all for one afternoon with the love of his life. Hugh continues, expressing that there's a bunny deep inside every woman, and if Tucker can see that bunny in those women, then he's onto something. Upon hearing this, Tucker realizes that he's turning Candace into a bunny, and that's why she had a seizure during their night of intimacy, leading him to stab her face with a fork. He admits that if she had just looked at his girlfriend as a bunny in the first place, then none of the firemen would be hunting him down. Learning all of this, Hugh feels uncomfortable and decides to call security. Meanwhile, Eugene feels uneasy about Cindy's career choice, expressing concern that even if they get back together, he'll only think of the other men she has been with. In response, the model explains that she had always been there for him while he was in a coma, highlighting that she had to take the job to pay for his medical expenses. Cindy reveals that Eugene's father believed his son would never wake up and planned to move him to a Class D hospice. She sent all her money from her part-time waitressing to support her boyfriend, but it was never enough. She started a modeling job to earn more and move him to a better treatment center. Upon hearing all this, Eugene is shocked that Tucker never mentioned anything. Suddenly, a bouncer interrupts their conversation, announcing that Hugh has ordered the stalkers to leave the mansion. As they are being taken away, Eugene confronts his friend for making him believe that Cindy has abandoned him. However, it turns out that the man never really knew about the woman's good deed because he was too preoccupied with his hobbies during his hospital visits. Outside, Candace orders Rick and the other firemen to put an end to her boyfriend. Before facing execution, Tucker apologizes to his girlfriend and confesses that he genuinely loves her despite her flaws, ultimately leading the couple to reconcile and share a kiss. Meanwhile, Phil confronts Eugene. However, the man demands to be let go because he wants to talk to Cindy. However, the rapper only starts making inappropriate remarks, bringing up his romantic experience with the woman. Soon, Cindy arrives and humiliates Phil by exposing the truth about him, revealing that he doesn't have private parts. She directs the journalist's attention to the rapper, who had to leave because of the embarrassment. Shortly after, Eugene approaches Cindy, telling her he'll forget the past and focus on the present moment. After they kiss, he asks why she never called when he woke up. She then explains that she only calls every Monday, but he woke up on a Wednesday and immediately ran off with Tucker. Cindy says he should get new friends, but Eugene says he's okay with his childhood pal. Seeing the events on his TV, Hugh orders everyone to return to the mansion and proceed with the party. There, the duo reunites, and Tucker shares that things are going great with Candace, and that he could get an opportunity to be a photographer for the men's magazine. In response, Eugene excitedly shares that Cindy is waiting for him upstairs, mirroring the event at the after-prom party. Tucker then congratulates his friend, knowing he'll have his first experience in the mansion and with a model. The duo shares a toast for the new beginnings of their lives, and Eugene gets intoxicated again. He announces to everyone that he'll be having a night of intimacy and finally enters the right door. However, as he sleeps with Cindy, he overexerts himself, leading to a messy situation.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.